How about them Cowboys?
Welcome, everyone, to the More Than Philly Sports Talk Show. It's great to be here with all of you on Monday, the 26th of October, 2020. As always, joined alongside my co-host, Gavin Tony, here in our 106th episode, I think. Or it was last week. I think maybe 106. The last week was 105. We're cruising along there.
We're up there.
From the first show to now. Videos are a lot smoother. Show's pretty good. I'm having a great time on here. I hope you are the same. But first of all, how are you doing?
I'm doing great, Zach. I had a rough weekend. For those who may or may not have known or saw my Instagram story or the Twitter, me and Zach, we did the More Than Philly Sports Open. Yes, as he puts on the golf hat and it's about to start smirking. Ladies and gentlemen, I did lose by 4 or 5 strokes, Zach. But don't worry. I'm going to regroup. I'm going to go back out there and I'm going to get a win next time. And Penn State football got screwed over, Zach. Just going to put that out there. But how you doing?
Yeah, we'll cover that as well. It was an up and down weekend. Given fantasy did great. I think I went 5-0, possibly 4-1 in my 5 leagues. But first of all, yeah, I got the hat on Callaway. Please sponsor us. I need a new driver. Maybe they'll get me a free one. But I also had the scorecard as well. I had to get it out for you. I think I should tape it to my fridge. Just some notables here. I got a hole in one on the 3rd hole. Gavin got a hole in one on the 12th hole. And I ended up Gavin ended up. I did claim the victory. We did also play a little bit of golf on the golf simulator, and that wasn't pretty either. We had some nice.
That was horrible.
I had some notable hits there. I tried to set Gavin up a little easy, but those were some tough greens to read, and it was interesting. I'm not going to say I loved it, but I think we'd do it again. Give it another shot.
I would do the golf simulator again. I'm not expecting a pretty score. For sure.
I mean, it probably was similar to what we played Marion Golf Club. It was a 120 something. We probably left a few strokes out there. We probably could have shot in 100, honestly, if we knew how to use the simulator at first. But we came close to a par. Gavin missed a few par putts. Nothing against him. I missed a few as well. The putting was hard. We didn't get a chance to hole any.
The driver was something else.
Well, some of them were going straight, but it was 130 yards. I'm like, there's no way that's the only carry I get. But I had a 220-yard drive at one point with a slight fade. And then I had to use my hybrid a lot. Gavin, that's going to be your utility club, the hybrid. We're trying to figure out a way we can get you to use one on the course so that we can get out there. But it was a fun day. I did end up winning. We played 2 playoff holes, but I won both. We tied one, and I won the other one. But it was a great time. We're definitely going to go do it again. I'm sure there's some other mini golf courses we're going to have to hit in the area, but it was a fun time.
Yeah, the More Than Philly Sports Open. Listen, I was clutch on the back 9. It's kind of hard to come back when someone hits a hole in one on the front 9, and then you kind of blow up on the 5th hole, and after that, was just never able to recover. But Zach, great win to you, sir, and it's not going to be the last time. Trust me.
No, it won't be. We'll continue to get out there and play. It was a fun day for sure. But coming up here, we do have to talk about it. How about them Cowboys? I saw power ranks this morning. It was an overreaction power rank, so it's obviously not going to be taken the most serious. But they were ranked the 32nd team behind the New York Jets, and I don't agree with that, obviously, but it was interesting to see. But I do have to make something pretty clear here. I'm not sure what the issue is injuries or whatever, bad coaching, all this stuff. But I'm going to say something right now that's probably going to shock a lot of people, but give me a chance to explain it. But Dak wasn't much different, okay? This team wasn't winning with Dak. The only win they had was against the Giants, which Eagles also barely beat, and against the Atlanta Falcons in an improbable play because the Falcons forgot how to do onside kicks. The only difference between the Cowboys right now and the Cowboys of the first 4 games is when they're already blown out, Dak Prescott could make the score could make it look more pretty, and he could stat pad, and they could score when it didn't matter. This Cowboys team can't. So the slow starts continue. The bad defense continues. Okay? Just, however, when they're already blown out, Dak Prescott was able to throw deep and do what I say the basics. I did say a little while back that Dak is better than Carson Wentz because he can do the basics. I'm going to take that back right now. Because Dak Prescott, I'm sorry, I love him. He's a great guy. Does not get in trouble. But he was nothing special this year. He wasn't, okay? You can look at his stats, but look at he had, 5 offensive snaps, Gavin, when they were in the lead, okay? His defense put him in a big hole, but he also couldn't score early in the game. So the only difference is that Andy Dalton can't stat pad. Dak Prescott can. So if I'm the Cowboys right now, honestly, I'm going to probably draft a new quarterback and let Dak hit the market. And here's why. I'm not paying Dak Prescott $30+ million if I'm the Cowboys. It's not anything against him, but you can. But look at all the guys you already have to pay. You've already promised Ezekiel Elliott money. You give Amari Cooper money. Michael Gallup's probably going to leave in free agency. He's nothing special right now, though. CeeDee Lamb, you're going to have to pay at some point. You made the mistake of paying all your linebackers. How's that working out for you right now? You let Byron Jones go because you wouldn't pay him. You got Chidobe Awuzie, who's been hurt right now. You have Trayvon Diggs, who looks awful. He's made one notable play this year on DK Metcalf. The Cowboys are really bad right now, and I'm not sure what they need to do. I would let Dak Prescott hit the open market from the Cowboys. I would pick a – you don't need Trevor Lawrence. You can get Justin Fields. You can get Trey Lance. You can get a quarterback in the second round that would fit this scheme because the O-line's hurt right now. But Dak Prescott deserves – I'm not going to say deserves better, but something about this Cowboys team is just so dysfunctional where he's always stat padding at the end of games, and he's always done it. That's why Dak has great numbers right now. Passing yards are irrelevant, Gavin. All right, they really are.
They don't mean anything if you don't win.
When Carson Wentz has his best games, he throws for 250 yards or less. I'm pretty sure they're like almost undefeated when that happens. And I'm sure the same thing's for Dak Prescott. It's too much stress on him. This defense is bad. They've prioritized the offense way too much. If I'm Dak Prescott, I want out of there. And if I'm Jerry Jones, honestly, I think it's time to go away from Dak Prescott and look in a new direction. It's nothing against him as a person because I like him. And again, one hit can kill you. It really almost did here. He had a severe injury. But I think that at the end of the day, we have to look at this situation and say, Dak Prescott wasn't much different when he was in. Did the guys play harder for him? Maybe. The offense found its groove in the fourth quarter. Just look at it, Gavin. Look at all the comebacks they've had this year. Against Cleveland, they almost came back. Almost. All right? Against the Falcons, they did come back because of a very improbable kick. Against the Giants, they had to come back from behind. You arguably have the best wide receivers, maybe next to the Bills and maybe one other team, and the best linebackers in the league, and you still can't get anything done. Okay? And I don't understand where people are coming from when they say, oh, you really see Dak's value when Andy Dalton's in. No, you're still losing. You had one win when Dak got hurt. You got two by the end of that day, but you had one win when Dak got hurt. All right? He's nothing special. He was a third-round draft pick, fourth round. Correct me if I'm wrong, Gavin. But Dak Prescott is nothing special. He's a great teammate, okay? But when it comes to what the goal is to win, he didn't do it either. They went 8-8 last year, okay? They scored 9 points in the most important game of the season, okay? Jason Garrett wasn't your issue, okay? Your defense was the issue. And your inability to have players like Kellen Moore's part of the issue. I don't know why you let him stay. Okay, they looked great last year, but look who they played. First 3 games, they were 3-0. They played Miami, New York, and Washington. It was nothing special. And Miami at that point was playing around with Josh Rosen. Now they have Fitzpatrick, in which they just benched. We'll talk about that later. But I think the Cowboys really need to start looking in a different direction here. I'm not sure what you would do, honestly. You need to work on your defense. You need a lockdown corner. You got to make moves in free agency. Jerry Jones was so happy on his yacht sitting back when he drafted CeeDee Lamb. Hey, Jerry, who's laughing now? Gavin, over to you.
Well, Zach, that was pure blasphemous, what just came from your mouth, and here's why. Dak Prescott is valuable to this team, and here's why. Yeah, you want to talk about stat padding, you want to talk about playing from behind, you want to talk about all the snaps. That's right. You're right. I can't disagree with you about that. You're right. But here's the big key you're missing. When Dak's behind, when number 4 is behind or under center, everything works. Everything. The difference is the offensive line may be banged up right now. Okay, that's cool. But guess who was still there when Dak was there? You still have Mar, you still have CeeDee, you still have Gallup, and you still have Ezekiel Elliott. The major case you can say, well, Dak was turning over the ball, and so was Ezekiel Elliott. That's Dallas' killer on offense. They keep turning over the ball. Andy Dalton cannot hit anybody to save his life. In the past 2 weeks, I watched him. Can't hit a damn person. Not one person can he hit. Zach, I'm morbidly frustrated because I have CeeDee Lamb on my fantasy team, Zach, and guess what he did? Guess what? Nothing. Guess what? He's not done a damn thing. So you want to talk about Dak Prescott not being that much valuable. Let's talk about how when Dak's under center, the run game looks better. Everything looks effective because they know Dak can actually throw the ball. All right. We know that Amari Cooper's going to get the ball. We know Gallup's going to get the ball. We know CeeDee Lamb's going to get the ball.
But do they win?
Here's the thing.
What have they done since they lost to the Rams?
It's hard to win when your defense gives up 50 points, 50-plus points almost.
Yeah, but Gavin, look at this. First quarter points against the Falcons, 0. All right. First quarter points against the Rams.
That was turnovers.
First quarter points against Seattle, 9. Okay, that's fair. All right. That was actually a fairly good game. All right. Points against the Cowboys in the first quarter, 14, which is good. But look at this. Second and third quarter, 0. Okay. They went silent, and there were 2 turnovers in that game, but both because of Dak Prescott. New York Giants game, They had 3 points in the first quarter against the Giants, Gavin. There's a trend here, and the Eagles are known for this too. Starting slow. We used to blame the defense. Like, oh my goodness, the defense is wrong. When you have 3 and out, your defense gets no time to rest. The Cowboys' defense is fundamentally bad. That's clear.
The Cowboys' defense is bad all around.
It's fundamentally bad, and there's no excuse for it. Okay, but the offense doesn't help by not scoring early, and then you get into a ditch. And what does the defense do? The Jim Schwartz prevent. It's easy to get yards during that, Gavin. Hell, we could do that. You got Amari Cooper, CeeDee Lamb, Michael Gallup. I love Dak Prescott. I can't emphasize that enough. I don't want this to be twisted, that I don't think he's a good person. But when it comes to be playing from behind, when you have prevent D on you, it's easy. The Eagles did it against the Ravens. It became too close to call, but the Eagles did it against the Ravens. I mean, it's easy to do that. You got all these guys playing back on you, 30 yards, 40 yards off, honestly, and you let them storm down the field. All right, that's Dak Prescott's bread and butter. Why can't they get started earlier? Is it the quarterback's fault? Is it scheming? I don't know. I would have to go back and watch film. But at the end of the day, the only difference between Andy Dalton and Dak Prescott is the scoreboard looks less ugly, but the Cowboys still lose games.
The bottom line, Zach, is you're right. You could throw out these statistics, but it's just how effective the things is. I'm not going to sit here and defend the Cowboys because, I'm the quick to, it's like I'm bashing the Cowboys. That's my favorite thing to do, besides my Knicks here and there. If you think that anybody else is going to step into the situation Dak Prescott did and do better with the same defense, you're wrong. You're wrong. I'm just a firm believer that I'm not saying Dak Prescott is going to be MVP caliber. Do I think Dak Prescott is worth $40 million? No, far from it.
You're already in cap hell with all these other guys that you've brought in, all the other guys that you've paid.
I do disagree with paying Leighton Vander Esch's money and Jalen Smith's money because Jalen Smith.
I'd rather have Byron and Tony Pollard than have Ezekiel Elliott.
Elliott's money looks worse. And ladies and gentlemen, he fumbled twice last week and only had 45 yards this week.
Derrick Henry is the only running back in the game that actually deserves money, and he doesn't even have top dollar because he's a team player.
Now here's a question for you, Zach, and I want you to think about this. Miles Sanders getting into that conversation.
He's nowhere near it.
Nowhere near it? Okay.
Nowhere near it. He's still not at the point where he can be an every down back production guy. I love him. He has big play potential, but he's not near it yet. I hope he gets there because we need him. But as far as health and consistency, it's not there.
Okay.
All right, coming up after this, Penn State. Not what we were expecting and not really the confidence booster. Going up against Ohio State next week, who looks phenomenal. We'll cover that after this.
We are now offering a new product on our Teespring. Wear a mask in public. We are now supporting a custom designed mask with our logo on it. Purchase it today, and 10% goes to a foundation of our viewers' choice. It offers a full nose and mouth coverage, single-sided print, includes 2 2-inch elastic ear loops, non-medical grade product, and finally, $1 from every mask sale is donated to a nonprofit to feed children in need. Enjoy today's episode.
I mean, we can look at the last call in that game, but 2 interceptions early does not help you.
It does not.
I mean, you have Journey Brown out. Noah King got hurt early. Micah Parsons is out for the year, and they're still the 8th rank. I think that's wrong by the Associated Press for starters.
And they dropped too, sir. Dewis Poll hasn't
right. They really should fall. They really shouldn't be in it right now. Penn State was in a rebuild last year. They looked great, but you lost some guys this year, and I don't know what to say. 36-35. You go into OT. I mean, you did your job, but they're down to 18. They're still in the top 25. That's kind of funny to me. And Indiana's above them at 17. Sean Clifford looked good at the end of the game. He actually had 100+ rushing yards. Devin Ford, 3.5 yards per carry is not going to do it for you. You don't have a lot going on. You have Pat Freiermuth, who's it, in my opinion, who's going to be probably one of the top tight ends coming into this draft. Now, is Indiana good or is Penn State bad? Well, it's easy to be good when you get a short field. Clifford had 2 bad picks. I think one of them wasn't even his fault, but you can't do that. You can't. I mean, look at the scoreboard, Gavin. 7 points in the first quarter for Penn State. They get 17 unanswered. They get 7 again, and they get 14 late. I think that there's some serious problems here for this team, and it's not going to be pretty against Ohio State next week. I can tell you that for sure.
I'm not even going to watch next week, Zach. And you know what? And I'm really pissed off that Penn State had the nerve to drop 10 spots to number 18. Correct me if I'm wrong. I'm pretty sure it's 18 because because
They're
Indiana's
18.
are 18.
And Ohio State's up to 3.
First of all, I think was Zach. We called a little bit of the game. They look good. They look good.
Mm-hmm.
I'm morally upset. Two missed field goals.
That is true. That is very true. They would have won that game otherwise.
I'm morally upset at the last call, Zach. Let me take you through my reactions, right? All right. I see the last call. At first, when I saw it like live, when I saw the actual video, I was all right with it. I was like, "Oh, that's a great play by the Indiana quarterback or whoever."
Mm-hmm.
I went for the pylon, did what you would ask him to do. But then I saw another picture where he was short.
Hit the ground first. If they're marking the pylon, then it is very clear that he did not make it to the pylon. We never saw an angle of the other side. We never saw an angle if it broke the plane before the ball was on the ground, which I don't think it was. The angles that we saw were inconclusive, so I guess that was their figure. It's inconclusive. We already ordered a touchdown on the field, so it's a touchdown.
Now, here's my question. Did they review it?
They did review it.
They did review it?
And
how the hell do you miss that?
Confirmed. It stood. The play on the field stood.
Zach, how the hell do you miss that? I'll do it. One eye could see that he didn't get in if you look at the other view. Are we just sitting here doing, I guess he did it. Zach, what is that? What kind of, is this the replacement refs from the NFL forgiving for the year? But Zach, you know what I'm talking about. That was bad.
Hail Mary.
That was one of the worst calls in college football history. That was missed. Blatantly missed. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm mortally pissed off. Not as the whole game. I'm going to get into the whole game review. But I'm mortally pissed off just at the last play. Because imagine that was the national championship and Penn State made it. Remember, Zach, they lost to Minnesota last year, which arguably knocked them out of the top 4, which set them all the way back, which means they wasn't going to the playoffs. Zach, we discussed this. And then they were 8th, with arguably they had a chance to maybe climb this year. But I mean, you're obviously going to lose to Ohio State next week, but they had a chance. They did well. As you said, interceptions, short fields, missed field goals. Sean Clifford had 100 yards rushing. But Zach, it's just like we said in the last segment about passing yards. Doesn't mean nothing, right? Well, here's my argument, Zach. It doesn't mean anything if you don't win. Zach, Tom Brady passed for 500 yards in the Super Bowl. Did he win? No.
Nope.
Lamar Jackson had 1,000 yards rushing. He won MVP. Did he go any further than where he went? No. Bowman's defense was legit last year. Did they do anything? No. Not in the playoffs, at least. You see my point? You bring up the 100 yards rushing from Sean Clifford. That's cool, but they didn't win. There's no fire to the end of it. Everybody, all the Penn State fans want to think about is the ball over the line. You cannot ignore the real fact that this team left points on the board and gave up offensive possessions due to interception, which led to short field. You don't have your best defender in Michael Parsons there. Jeremy Brown, which I wish him speedy recovery because it's a medical condition and you never want to play around with something like that. I wish him speedy recovery, but I don't think Jeremy Brown would have done anything different yesterday. I think that was bad Penn State football. And that's the worst Penn State football I've seen in a while. And when it comes to reffing, at the end, that was horrible.
The bad start, bad finish, bad all around. Ohio State scored 52 points last week against Nebraska. So we'll have to see what happens. But coming up after this, the Browns are 5-2. Does it mean anything?
Would you like to know how you can support the More Than Philly Sports Talk Show? If so, head down to the comments on our YouTube channel. You will see 2 links there. The first is our Teespring, where you can see a wide variety of apparel products, including our signature product, the More Than Philly Sports Talk Show sweatshirts, offered in a variety of different colors, including gray, navy blue, and more. Finally, we have our Patreon page, where you can become a monthly donation member. 10% of all donations go towards an organization of our viewers' choice. We hope that you enjoyed today's episode, and if you can't donate, that's okay, because you can always share this.
Just a quick note. Jalen Reagor has been active in practice and receiving. There's a good chance that he does return Sunday night against the Dallas Cowboys. So let's hope that he can prove us wrong as we continue to see rookies, wide receivers all this year doing their thing. But first of all, Odell Beckham suffering a torn ACL out for the year. Here's why I'm upset about that. Gavin, do you know how he tore his ACL?
He did the same way Carson Wentz did almost, but here's the difference.
He was tackling a guy because Baker threw an interception. Baker threw a pick. Odell chased him down and tackled him. Imagine you as a wide receiver tearing your ACL, a season-ending injury, after having a sensational start because your damn QB can't put the ball in the right guy's hands.
And but yet
Imagine how that feels for him.
ESPN is celebrating this man like he's some type of Lord Savior or something because he threw 5 touchdowns. Ladies and gentlemen, the Bengals defense is
23-23 after that over 5 start.
Doesn't matter, Zach. I'm tired of celebrating Baker Mayfield. All right, if this was commercials, he would be celebrated because he has too many damn commercials. I feel like every time I turn on the TV, Zach, Hulu has live sports. Hey, Zach, guess what? Did you know Hulu has live sports with Baker Mayfield? Because I feel like that's
Baker Mayfield's head on, not Baker Mayfield's body.
well, shoot. The way how that. Listen, don't get me started on Baker Mayfield and his Hulu live sports because I don't agree with none of that stuff. But look, Zach, the fact is that Baker Mayfield is being celebrated as some type of hero day because he won. The real loss is you lost your wide receiver. And by the way, if that pass to end the game wasn't that great either. Baker Mayfield is arguably the worst game manager in the history of game managing. He's celebrating like he did something. He didn't do anything. He didn't do anything. What happened last week? Let's go back to last week. When they needed you the most, where were you? Nowhere.
Both times that they played. Both times they played real competition, they folded. The Browns are not legit. That's my straight up answer. The Browns aren't legit. At some point, you're gonna have to start looking in a different direction. The quarterback, Nick Chubb out, obviously is gonna hurt you. But you still got to give him some props for 5 TDs and 23-23 after an 0-for-5 start with an interception and your best wide receiver going down.
What props does he really deserve? That's the real question.
He did his job yesterday. That's all you could ask for.
He did. Zach, that's right. That's right.
At least this week, there's not much you can hang over his head except for that bad pick early, but he bounced back.
But he's doing his job versus bad teams. You got to do your job all the time. All the time. You know, Zach, the fact that Joe Burrow had the lead and lost the lead, which I'm going to kind of blame it on him and his defense because they kind of just stalled out and didn't continue. The fact that happened and Baker Mayfield had to come back for the second time against Joe Burrow this year, and we're sitting here and we're talking about, well, he did his job. No, he should be winning these games. These are the gimme games.
Whatever, 35 points. It's not his defense.
I'm just saying. But these are the gimme games. These are games that we expect Carson Wentz to do versus Joe Burrow and the Bengals and didn't do. These are the games that we expect them to do. But Zach, what I'm trying to say is this. You're right. He did do his job. He had a good day yesterday after the 0-for-5 start. You got your best wide receiver hurt. Congratulations, Baker Mayfield. It's not going to sit well with anybody else. Oh, by the way, get my man OBJ the hell out of Cleveland because he's just going to kill himself there because that's how bad the team is because he has to do everything. That's like Superman. Get Jarvis and them out of there. How he make the call. But Zach, why are we really celebrating? What has Baker Mayfield really done as a whole this season?
He's just done the basics. That's all I can say.
Done the basics, but it doesn't show when needed. It was a run game.
You're right.
You know the stat that Zach, did you know that when it comes to the fourth quarter, Baker Mayfield's accuracy is arguably one of the worst in the fourth quarter? Baker Mayfield is arguably the worst. He's a 3-quarter quarterback. Say that 3 times. I'm messing up. He's a 3-quarter quarterback. He can play for 3 quarters in the fourth quarter. Don't ask him to do anything. You see how much they were relying on the run game between Nick Chubb and Kareem Hunt, by the way, which kind of went missing last week and didn't really pick up this week. I'm just saying, Zach. The Browns, the real question is the Browns legit? No. Not with Baker Mayfield quarterback. I like the defensive line, though. Kind of stalled out. They were legit at first. Kind of stalled, but.
Yes, we'll see what happens here. They play the Raiders next week. All right, Gavin, ever since Kenny Galladay's return, the Lions are 3-1. And an amazing play at the end of the game. Only the Falcons can find a way to lose like that. Are the Lions for real, Gavin? 3-1 since the return of their number 1 wide receiver.
Well, Zach, I gotta say this first. Let's talk about the Lions comeback for real. Zach, I gotta ask you. My first question is: do you have a problem with Todd Gurley scoring a touchdown? Yes or no?
Do I have a problem with it? He tried to fall down. He just fell into the goal line. I think he knew what he was supposed to do, but I wouldn't. I think that the points are fine there. You got the 2-point conversion. If your defense can't stop them, that's on the defense. I think Todd Gurley could have helped, but I don't think he hurt them. I just think he didn't help them in that situation, if that makes sense.
So here's Todd Gurley is being flamed today or last night. He was being flamed for scoring. Ladies and gentlemen, last time I checked, when I put up points, I expect my defense, I don't know, and with a team with no timeouts, to stop them.
And the clock was at 0 at the end of the game, and you still couldn't execute.
And then you had a horrible call versus at the end of the game with a helmet to helmet, which, well, it doesn't get worse than Andy Dalton, who had the worst headache of yesterday. But you had a really bad defensive call, and then you just kind of just forgot about TJ Hawkinson. So, Zach, are the Lions for real? I don't believe so. And here's why. There's a bad man in that division named Aaron Rodgers who wants your damn respect because you're not giving it to him yet. But can the Lions make the playoffs? I think so. But are they real? Are we going to be worried about them? I don't think so. I don't believe it just yet.
And the Bears still find a way to hold first place. They play on Monday, today actually, the Bears and the Rams. Gavin, predictions for the game.
I got Rams tonight 31-20. And the reason why I want the Rams to destroy because I'm down badly in fantasy. Oh, I need a poor performance from Nick Foles today. Pick the wrong defense, sir.
We'll have to see what happens there. We'll keep some updates. I'm going to be perfect in our week again for another week. And finally, here in our last 3 minutes, there have been 2 games. That's the thing about baseball. It's not going to be spaced apart. So, unfortunately, we don't get our direct live reactions of what the hell went on in that game. What was that, game 4? The Dodgers could have won the series last night. Clayton Kershaw, Gavin, he's going to need your respect too. Clayton Kershaw looked good, did his job, a couple of earned runs there. But both games in this World Series, he has stepped up big time. But what the hell happened in game 4, Gav?
I still, Zach, it's Monday, October 26th. I still can't give you a correct answer.
I mean, you saw my tweet. I'm like, the Dodgers don't deserve to win this series after that play. Mookie Betts, by the way, I love Mookie Betts, but he does not look like the best player in baseball right now. Those past 2 games, hit an error last night as well in right field. He's not looking so hot right now.
Defensively, he's not looking too hot, but he did everything else before. But anyway, Zach, when it comes to the last play, let's go over it. People want to talk about the error from Chris Taylor. That throw was pretty on. Why are you trying to throw home? Right? Why are you throwing home? Why don't you try to stop the runner from third, get the tie, and go from there? Besides,
extra innings.
A Rosarena trip. Why are you rushing that throw? That's the real question. A Rosarena trip. The throw was rushed, and Will Smith took us out. Max Muncy threw a horrible throw as well. So it's actually blasphemous that they gave the error to Chris Taylor when it should have been Max Muncy's error. Zach, you're like 5 feet away from him. How are you throwing the ball away from him? Are you that rushed? A Rosarena, by the time
catch the ball and tag the runner. I mean, I could do
exactly.
that.
By the time Rosarena gets the ball, he's tripped. Or excuse me, by the time Max Muncy gets the ball, Rosarena's already on the ground.
He was going back to third. He was going to go back to third, and then the ball
went
going
back to third.
But he's been on a tear. Even if they don't win this series, he honestly still should be MVP.
It's hard to say the Dodgers deserve this championship because they're giving it every possible way to give it up.
Tomorrow's game 6, Gavin, in LA.
I mean,
technically in LA.
You've been saying 6 games. I think I've been saying 6 games as well. If it gets Zach, if the Rays win game 6, I gotta go with the Rays in 7.
Now we'll see what happens. Again, the Dodgers had to come back from being down 3-1, so they're definitely exhausted. But they need to finish. Don't be stupid. If they didn't do a bullpen game and they didn't have that error, they would have swept this series. The Dodgers are the better team, but the Rays are capitalizing on the mistakes, and that's what's key here.
By the way, Zach, the Rays did win on their bullpen game. So we'll put that out there.
I think Blake Snell's probably going to throw in game 6. We'll have to see how that goes. Because it's going to be 6 and 7 back to back. If 7 does happen, if it does, Gavin, you're taking the Rays. I don't know who I'm going to take. I'll have to see how tomorrow's game fends out. But we'll do some predictions and more tomorrow, as well as recap Monday Night Football. And then we will have an opportunity to finish what happened on Sunday yesterday, go over some of these other games. Gavin, anything else you want to chime in on?
Yeah, real quick. Zach, I know we don't cover the UFC that much, but congratulations to Khabib Nurmagomedov. Look, Zach, he choked Justin Gaethje out in the second round. Actually put him to sleep. And Zach, also too, he finished 29-0, and he retired. So much respect to him, one of my favorite fighters. He said it was going to be his last fight. I'm actually heartbroken about that because I love watching Khabib fight. But Khabib, way to go on top, man. Way to go.
Sports physical to go that perfect record is great, and he can finish on top for sure.
And then the way how he does it too, and the dude losing your father, who is his right hand man in his corner. So I gotta give him all the respect. Khabib, Well done, my guy.
Congratulations. And for sure, Philadelphia Union also are doing really well. We'll have to cover that this week. We'll try to get our Philadelphia Union specialist on as well. We're going to talk about the Flyers offseason here. We're going to try to get some guests on as we do move toward trying to get some more hour shows in. We should be able to at least the last 3 days of the week we're looking at. With that being said, everyone, thank you so much for joining us here today on the More Than Philly Sports Talk Show.
I'm going to win next time, Zach. The More Than Philly Sports Open is going to me next time.
We'll see what happens, and you'll have to even up that series of 1. Thank you, everyone. Have a great day.
If you enjoyed today's video, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe if you haven't. In addition, hit that bell icon and set it to all to get reminded of when we go live and when we post excerpts of